Hello guys, and welcome to this new tutorial. In this video, we will create the following interactive dashboard, which is about Hollywood most profitable stories. In this tutorial, I will show you how to use an image as a background. We will create stacked bar charts, donut charts, KPIs, scatter plots, and detailed table for the different films. The link to download the dataset is available in the description. And as you can see here, for example, if we select action in this legend, we get the film title in the different charts. Same thing for animation, comedy, drama, fantasy, and romance. Before starting working with Tableau, let's first explore our dataset in Excel. As you can see, we don't have a very big dataset. We have 8 columns and we have 74 rows, right? So the first column is about the different titles of the films. Then we have the genre. So each film has genre and also lead studio. So we have Fox, Independent, Universal, Disney, Warner Bros, etc. Then we have the audience score. So the audience score is the percentage of users who gave a positive rating for the film. Then we have profitability, which is related to lead studio. We have also Rotten Tomatoes, which is the most trusted measurement of quality for movies and TV shows. We have worldwide growth, which is equal to the domestic growth plus the international growth. And we have the year. So here we have different years. So we have one column for the dates. We have 4 different measures. And we have 3 different categories. So now let's import our dataset in Tableau and start creating the dashboard. So as we have said, we have 8 fields, so 8 columns and 74 rows. And as you can see here, film is automatically selected as text. Same thing for genre, lead studio. And for audience score, we have an integer. Profitability, same thing. Rotten Tomatoes, same thing. Worldwide growth, same thing. And for the year, we are going to convert it into date. So like that, we will not have issues when creating our bar chart. You click on sheet 1. And the first thing that we are going to do is to create 7 different calculated fields. The first one for the title of the dashboard and 6 others for the KPIs. So we start by the title. You click on the down icon in here, create calculated field, and we call it title. So you write here your title, call it Hollywood, right? Stories. Apply. Okay. We name the sheet 1 as title. Okay. And we drag and drop the title into text. We hide the title and we increase its width. Right click, format, and we select black, bold 28. We increase this one. And you go to alignment, pane, select center. So like that we have created our first text sheet. Next we are going to create total films. So write total films. Okay, same thing, create calculated field. We call it total films. Copy and you paste that to your string. Apply. Okay, same thing, we drag and drop into text. Hide title. We increase its width. Oops, too much. And you drag and drop film into text. You select count distinct, measure, count distinct. Now you right click, format, and you select bold black 10. Same thing, the alignment, it will be in the center. Now I'm going to duplicate this one. And we change the name into total lead studios, right? Copy this one. Create calculated field. Name it total lead studios and you create your string. Apply. Okay. We remove this one and this one from the text and we drag and drop the calculated field into text. And same thing, lead studio into text. You select count distinct, so measure count distinct, and you increase its width. Okay, so like that we have total lead studios. Next, same thing, we duplicate, So we have total generals. We copy down icon, create calculated field, name it total generals, and you create your string. Apply. OK. We remove everything from text, total generals into text, and same thing, general into text. You select count distinct, measure count distinct. So like that we have total of 6, right? Same thing, duplicate. We'll have the average audience score. Okay. Same thing, we copy, create calculated field, average audience score, and we name it like this. We can just abbreviate, so we write AVG, right? Apply. Okay. So we remove everything from text, average audience score, and we have here the audience score in percentage. We select the average, measure average. So we increase its width. Like that we get our average audience score. So duplicate, average rotten. So average rotten tomatoes, right? Same thing, copy and remove everything from text, create calculated field, same thing, create our string, and we use AVG, right? Apply. Okay. We drag and drop the calculated field into text, and same thing, rotten tomatoes into the text, and we select the average, measure average. All right. And last one it is, so duplicate. So we have the average worldwide growth, right? Same thing, we copy, create calculated field, paste, and we paste that. Apply. Okay. So we remove everything, we drag and drop into text, and same thing, into text we select the average. So like that we have created all the KPIs, right? Next we are going to create a stacked bar chart for profitability by lead studio and genre. So select new worksheet, name it profitability, right, by lead studio and genre. So drag and drop lead studio into rows. So we can remove the null values. So right click on null and select exclude. Okay. Next we drag and drop profitability into text, and instead of sum, for example, we can select the average. So we select measure average. So like that we get the average. You click on show me and you select horizontal bars. We can sort that. So right click on lead studio, hide field labels of rows. So instead of standard we are going to select entire view. So close this one, and we drag and drop genre into color. Same thing, we press Ctrl key and we drag and drop the average into the label. We click on color, edit colors, and we are going to select gray wall. Sign, apply. Okay. We click on one null, filter data. So double click on this axis, we remove the title. Same thing on the title. So we put it in the center, black, bold, and 11. Apply. Okay. And we are going to format. So right click on the title, format title. We add the border in black. Same thing for the sheet format. So put everything in black, bold, and 8. So we add our border, everything in black. Black, header, same thing. Black, and row divider in black with the column divider in black. Grid lines, we are going to remove the column grid lines, none. Same thing for zero lines, none. And we click on color, border, we add black borders for the different bars. As you can see here, for the axis we can select axis rulers and we select black. Same thing for axis text, we put it in black. Okay, so like that we have our horizontal stacked bar chart for profitability by lead studio and genre. Next we are going to create another stacked bar chart for total films by genre and year. So you click on your worksheet, we name it total films by year and genre. So drag and drop year into the columns and film into the rows. We select measure count. On automatic, we select bar, we drag and drop genre into color, and we press Ctrl key, we drag and drop count into the label. Now I'm going to format our worksheet. So right click on the worksheet, format, select bold, black and 8. Same thing for the borders, we select everything in black, black, same thing in here, and row divider in black with column divider in black. For grid lines, we remove grid lines for the rows, select none. And for axis rulers on sheet, we select black, and same thing for axis text, it will be in black. So double click on the count, we remove this one. Same thing year of year, we select, we remove the title. So do the same thing for the title, double click on the title, put it in the center, bold, black 11, apply OK. Right click on the title, format title, and we select our border in black. We can also click on year and we convert it into discrete. We select the entire view and we increase the size. Okay, so like that we get our stacked bar chart with also the border for the different bars. Okay, right click on year of year and select hide field labels for columns. Next we are going to create a donut chart for total films by genre. So click on your worksheet, write total films by genre. So drag and drop genre into color and we select by, right? Same thing, we drag and drop film into angle and we select count. We press Ctrl key and we drag and drop the count into the label and we select quick table calculation percent of total, right? We increase its size a little bit. We double click on rows, we write 0. We press Ctrl key and we duplicate the value, right? Go to the second one and we remove everything. We decrease its size a little bit and we change its color into white. So you click on the second one, we select dual axis, okay? And like that we get our donut chart. Same thing on standard, we select entire view. You right click on the header and click on show header, alright? So I'm going to format that. You right click on the sheet, format, and on the lines we remove the 0 line and we add the borders. So we go to borders, row divider in black and column divider in black. We can also format our title. So double click on the title, we put it in the center, black, bold, and 11. Apply OK. Right click on the title, format title, and we select border black. So like that we get our donut chart for total films by genre. Now for example, if we want the color to depend on the total number of films, for example, the darker the color, the higher the total number of films. So you can click in here on the colors for genre and change it into detail. And we press Ctrl key, we drag and drop the count into the color. We can change the color. For example, you click on the down icon in here, edit colors, and we can select the gray warm color. Apply OK. So like that, our color depends on the total number of films. We can do the same thing for the previous one. We can change the color into detail. And we press Ctrl key, we drag and drop the count into the color. And since same thing, we have the count of films depending on the genre, we can select the same color. So edit colors and we select gray warm. Apply OK. For profitability, we can do the same thing. So we change the color of genre into detail. We press Ctrl key and we drag and drop the average into the color. And since here we have a different measure, which is profitability, we can, for example, select another color. We can select, instead of gray warm, we can select gray. So you click on apply, okay. So like that, the darker is the color, the higher is the number of films, or the higher is the average profitability. Now we can create another donut chart, which will be about total films by lead studio. So we duplicate this one, and instead of genre, we write lead studio, right? Okay. And here, instead of having genre in detail, so we remove genre and we drag and drop lead studio into detail. Now we can change the color, edit colors, and we can select red, black, diverging. Apply, okay. So like that, we get our donut chart for total films by lead studio. And as you can see here, we have independent, which is the highest value, with a value of 25.68%. Now, for example, for the two donut charts, instead, for example, of having the title in here, we can hide this title. And for this one, we can create new calculated field. We call it films by lead studio, right? We copy this one and we create our string. Apply, okay. So we drag and drop this calculated field into a label of the second chart, right? And we put it in the center. We can format that. So for label, we can select, for example, bold 10. Okay. So like that, we get our title in the center of the donut chart. And we can do the same thing for the first one. So instead of having films by genre in here, we hide the title. We create a new calculated field. We name it films by genre. And same thing, we copy this one and create our string. Apply, okay. We select the second one and we drag and drop into the label. So label, select bold and 10 and we put it in the center. So like that, we get our donut charts with the title in the center. Now, before creating our scatter plots, we click on color and border black. Same thing here, border black. And also here, same thing, color, border, and black. Same thing for the first one, border, black. Okay, so I'm going to create our first scatter plot. So name it audience score and Rotten Tomatoes, right? So drag and drop audience score into the rows and we select dimension. We do the same thing for Rotten Tomatoes in the columns and we select dimension. For the shape, we select filled circle, right? And we drag and drop film into the label. For the color, we can change it into black. We can also add the genre, for example, into the tooltip. And same thing for the lead studio. So like that, we have the audience score, the film, Rotten Tomatoes, genre, and lead studio. So we can format our worksheet. First, we filter the data. We right click, format, and we select everything bold, black, and 8. Same thing for the border, we select everything in black. Row divider and column divider, right? We remove the grid lines, so select none. Same thing for the 0 lines, none. And for the axis rulers, we put it in black. And same thing for the axis text in black. We can also format our title, so double click on the title. We put it in the center, bold, black, and 11. Apply, OK. Right click on the title, format title, and we add our border. To create a second scatter plot, we are going to duplicate this one. Duplicate. And same thing, we remove the audience score and we drag and drop worldwide gross into the rows. convert it into dimension, and we change our title. So we remove 2, and same thing here, right, worldwide growth. So like that we have our scatter plots. Now we are going to create our table. So click on your worksheet and we call it films details, right? So drag and drop the film into the rows. Then we have the genre. Then we have lead studio, so we can put it between film and genre. We have also the year, so convert it into discrete. Hide field labels for rows. We drag and drop measure names into filter, and we select audience score, profitability, Rotten Tomatoes, and worldwide growth. Apply OK. We press Ctrl key and we drag and drop measure names into rows, and we drag and drop measure values into the columns. We can sort our values. We click on 5 nulls and filter data. Same thing, we press Ctrl key and we drag and drop measure names into the color. We press Ctrl key and we drag and drop measure values into the label. And for example, here we can also change the color. For example, edit color, and we can select, for example, orange gold. Assign, apply, OK. Now I'm going to format our worksheet. So double click on the axis, remove value. Same thing for the details. So we put it in the center, black, bold, and 11. Apply OK. Right click, format, black, bold, 8. We put everything in the center. We can increase the width of names. Same thing for the lead studio, right? We remove the grid lines. So for the columns, we select none, and we add our borders. So for the sheet, we select everything in black. Row divider in black and column divider in black. Right click on the title, format title, we add our border in black. The same thing, for example, if you want the colors to depend on the measure values, so we change measure names into detail, and we press Ctrl key, we drag and drop measure values into the color. Edit colors, and we select, for example, orange gold. Apply OK. So like that we get the film's details table. Now I'm going to create our dashboard. So you click on new dashboard. We define the size. So I put 1850 and here 1050. Okay. And like tiled, we select we double click on image, and I will add the background image. So you can find the link to download the background image in the description. So I have here background.png, right? Fit and center. Okay. So like that I have my image, right? Next you select floating and you double click on blank. So I'm going to add our first block in here. Alright, so just put it like that. Like that. Like that. So just it's up to you, so you can arrange it as you want. Okay, and we select layout, it will be background white. The border, it will be black. Next we are going to add another one. So it will be like that. Same thing, it will be background white, border in black. Okay, so I will just put it like this until here. Okay, next I will add another one. So double click on blank. Same thing, you can select the background, the border as black, and the background as white, right? And you can add it in here. You can decrease it like that, and same thing for this one. Okay, so I will add the fourth one. Double click on blank, layout, border black, and background in white. Okay, so we'll add it in here. All right, just put it like that, and here we decrease it a little bit. Okay, just decrease it. So like that, we have designed our dashboard. Now let's drag and drop the different sheets. So we start by the text sheets, right? Dashboard. We have total films. So everything will be in floating, right? High title. And we put it like that. So total films, we put it here. Then total lead studios, right? Okay. So lead studios, I forgot an S. Edit, and we add an S. Apply. Okay. So back to our dashboard. Then we add third one, total genres, same thing. High title. Okay. Put it in here. Then we add the title. Alright, so high title, and I will put it in the center like that. Then we add different averages. So the first one, high title. Okay. Okay, the first one. High title. Okay, I put it like that. And you add the last one. So average worldwide gross. Okay. High title. And I put it like that. Okay, that's great. I can just arrange them to be in the center. Okay, now I will add another blank, and I select the background as black. Okay, so we decrease it like this, decrease it like this. So copy paste that several times. First one I put it here. Second one in here. Third one like that. Okay, and the last one in here. Okay, so now for example, if I select presentation mode, so we have our KPIs, right? Now we are going to add the other sheets. So we can start by the films details, right? Put it here. We remove measure values and we drop it in here, right? All right. Okay, so like that we have the first table. Next we will have the scatter plots, so we put one in here, second one in here, right? So I'm gonna just so like that, decrease, that's too much. All right, put it like this, and I will add the second one in here. Okay, this one, put it like this. All right, so like that we have the scatter plots. Next we add profitability, right? So I will put it like that. Okay, next we have total films, so I put it like that. Standard, so it will be or fit with. Count, we remove it. Okay, and we add the donut charts. So the first one I will put it like that. So I think, or we can decrease this one. So put it like this one like this, and hide title. Okay, so I put it like that, and I will add the second one. So this one in here, same thing, hide title, and we put it like this and like that. Okay, here we can decrease, for example, can put it here, we can decrease this one. All right, okay, so like that we get our donut charts. So we remove this one, we select standard, and we increase its width, can decrease, get it shorter. Okay, so here for the legends, average profitability, we're going to remove it, and like that we get our final dashboard. Now for example, if we want to have the genres in the legend, we can just change the profitability into the genre, and we will have the legend as genre. I changed the colors in here to profitability, and same thing in here, I added the column. So filters, I can add the filters, right? So I put it in here. We select single value drop down, select all, and I remove the title and put it inside in here. Okay, so this is the filter. And same thing, we can use this one. So worksheets, apply to worksheets, selected worksheets, and for example we can select to profitability, right, and also total films by year and genre, total films by genre, etc. Right? Okay, so like that. If we change to action, we get only action. If we change it to animation, same thing. Select presentation mode, like that. If we change it to comedy, we get comedy. All, we get all. Right? So like that, we get our final dashboard. And some of the insights that we can get from this dashboard is that we have total films of 74, total lead studios of 13, total genres of 6. The average audience score is 64.14. Average Rotten Tomatoes is 47.36. And the average worldwide gross is 136.4. Same thing here, we can see positive correlation between Rotten Tomatoes and the audience score. Okay. Whereas for Rotten Tomatoes and worldwide gross, it has no impact, right? So you can see most of the movies or most of the films have values between 0 and 200, even though the values of Rotten Tomatoes is increasing. Same thing in here for genre. As you can see, we have comedy for more than 50%. Okay. In second position, we have romance. Then we have drama. Same thing for films by lead studio. As you can see here, we have independent, which comes in the first position with a percentage of 25.68%. Then we have Warner Bros. With 16.22%. Same thing for the total movies. As you can see here, we have 2010 and 2008 have the highest values. All right. Whereas, as we have mentioned, as you can see here, for independent, it has the highest percentage, right, for drama genre with an average profitability of 17.73%. So that's it for this dashboard. I hope that you have learned new things. Thanks for watching and see you in next tutorial.